I'm here with Ben Peters, who is the founder and CEO at Cogner. So we're going to talk a little bit about Cogner and why Notion invested. So Ben, I thought I would start by just asking you to give a kind of quick summary, quick overview of what Cogner does.
Yeah. Okay. Good. We work with the businesses that matter, by which I mean like physical industries, people in like high-vis jackets, and the people who kind of keep the lights on, basically. So we work with these businesses to make them much more productive, essentially. And how we do that is we build them these like custom AI tools, like kind of control centers for the kind of expert back office knowledge work that they're doing, which ends up being like these kind of highly esoteric processes that are like really specific to each business and end up taking a lot of effort and a lot of expertise. And we build them the kind of perfect AI tool to make them super efficient at doing that, which in turn makes their businesses much more efficient. And everyone benefits from that because these are businesses that are the kind of backbone of the economy. And how we do that is super interesting because the way we discover the problem that we need to build for is using this kind of AI-based platform, and the way we actually synthesize that solution, the way we build that solution, doesn't use humans. It actually is an automated build process. And then a lot of the support of these applications, because these are applications that are used kind of like day in, day out for like critical things, the support of those applications and the maintenance of those applications is heavily AI-based as well.
Fantastic. So yeah, it sort of brings me on to why Notion invested in Cogna. Obviously, I knew you from before. We'd invested in Five, which is an autonomous driving company, which ended up selling to Bosch in a pretty successful transaction. But I was always kind of impressed with you at Five, but sort of felt that, maybe it wasn't the right company to really scale because it just required so much investment. And I know that you were kind of frustrated that, having to build out so much technology before you could generate any revenue. Yeah. So it felt like you had taken that experience and those learnings and actually sort of flowed them into starting Cognos. And when you talked about Cognos for the first time, I was really, really interested in that. And that, I think you'd found a really interesting application for AI and actually, using AI to deliver precision software to the kinds of industries, the kind of companies that had sort of been overlooked by off-the-shelf software before. So actually to better, identify opportunities to build software, to write the requirements to actually build the software itself, but to do it all autonomously using AI, I thought was just a really, really good application of AI, a good industry to target. I thought that you and Lars, who was also at Five, were the right founders to build the business. And I think from very, very early on, you had this sense of, we are going to generate revenue. We're going to sell to real customers. We're going to solve real problems. We're going to generate revenue. We're going to think about ROI, return on investment, everything else. And so I think a lot of AI businesses are building out the technology for a long time, or selling into kind of innovation budgets, but they're a long way away from really selling real contracts into central budgets. So I really like your approach to that, and I think you've really, been delivering on that ever since. So I think that was our kind of thesis for why we invested in Cogna. We invested in the seed, and then we led the Series A. We're really thrilled with how the business is progressing, is ahead of plan, has signed, a number of really, really good customers, grown the customers really, really successfully. And I think it's showing all the kind of fundamentals of a bit of an AI business that is really sustainable and can build a really big business over the long term. So we're very excited.
Excellent, good.
So I thought we'd just end by just getting you to talk a little bit about, on the kind of, decision both ways on why you chose Notion. I know that it was a competitive process, and why you chose Notion as your investor.
Well, I guess, we're very grateful that you guys decided to invest in us, actually. And we had the kind of luxury position, as you say, that we'd worked together for a number of years beforehand. And because I think there's like two things I think about when choosing an investor to work with. One is, are they good people? Because it's a bit of a cliche, but it is like getting married. You're right. You know, you're going to spend a lot of time together. There's, you know, as we kind of experienced in the first company, there's good times and there's bad times, and how that investor shows up in the bad times really matters, like massively. And you know, working directly with you and the rest of the guys at Notion over that period, you definitely proved that you show up in a really good way in those times. So, you know, tick in the first box essentially. Then the second part is like, I kind of think of it as like founder firm fit, really. And I think the model I have really is like, where are my weaknesses? What are the things I haven't done before? And how can the investor partner with us to help on that really? And the kind of the thing that was the kind of glaringly obvious thing, we talked about it in the early days as well, is that we hadn't scaled a SaaS business. So, you know, we're kind of software experts, and we certainly delivered software into the enterprise, but the kind of go-to-market motion, you know, we hadn't built that to the scale that is our ambition at Cogna. Whereas, you know, not only is that something that a lot of that you guys kind of focus on in the thesis, but like most of the team at Notion has done that. Like they have been operators doing that. You've done that as an operator, and so the way that you can contribute to us with the platform team, but also directly in the board meetings on the bits where, you know, we need that help, has been really kind of material to the kind of early success that we've seen really. So yeah, those two main things really, and that was the bet we took, and it's definitely proven to be a good one, I think.
Fantastic. Well, yeah, thanks for the kind words. We're glad that you chose Notion.
Great. Likewise. Thank you.